what should you say, like the company that's registered techangel.com, like you wouldn't be able to go after them for usage of that .com because like they were using it first, kind of thing. Um, so even if they had, you know, like it just is like you just know that that's the case, and you don't have access to what you have access to pretty much right now. But usually the most challenging person is going to be either somebody that's right here on this list or somebody who owns the .com. That would be my that well, that's not a legal opinion, of course. That's just how I personally look at like what's the risk. I mean, for the most part, like if you were using something that somebody else had trademarked or what have you, basically the first thing that would happen is they would send you a cease and desist letter. Most places are not going to go after, you're not big enough. Most places are not going to go after you for like, this is the business that you've cost me and whatever, and like take you to court right away. They're going to tell you to stop using it. So, like, worst case scenario, someone tells you to stop using it. Like, that's going to happen in 90% of cases, and they're not going to pursue it further. Again, not my legal advice. Okay. Um, Yeah, my sense is that that would make all of this so much easier for you to market, and then like, okay, I'm going into um like Be Well God Bless directory actually becomes part of the services that are offered by the Tech Angel. Does that feel like it's landed in does that feel like that resonates for you in terms of the organization of that? Okay. Yeah, so I think regardless about the domain, unless you have a particular, like, I feel really compelled towards yourtechangels.com or thetechangel.com, or play around with it and see if you come up with another one that you think is better. What I would say is, ask for some feedback. Ask for some feedback from the mastermind group. Which one of these or any other choices that you come up with um, resonates, the best for them. Ask people who are part of your community already that you might have relationships with. Um, those are people who are paying, not nobody who's a freebie person. Um, who are at the higher level, I would suspect would be probably your more ideal people to ask. Um, the people who had paid $99 and they're now getting something for free are probably not your ideal people necessarily, unless you see them as being like, okay, I could potentially, I like what you were offering before is really different than what you've been talking about offering now, right now. So just get a bunch of feedback about which feels like it resonates, and I don't let you or I pick unless you're feeling like you'll need to make a final choice about which one feels like it resonates the most based on the feedback that you get. But get some feedback from people who would be like real life customers and who have already invested in some services with you. Those would be a great audience, and I would say ask the mastermind group, because that's one of the ways that you can use them.
Sure. Yep.
Cool.
So we need logo that.
Yeah. So I would say update your logo on this. But that's going to be based on whatever just make it match the .com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into numerology, like I like numerology, so you might do the numerology on it if it's really a toss up between them. Um,
Mhm.
that might be another way to go about choosing as well.
Like that. I'm really echoing. Did you hear that?
No.
I will not talk as much. And
You're echoing. Yeah, it's not me. Mhm. Keep going. I'm ready. So talk to me about like I get the first round of bullet points. What's the second round of bullet points? Okay, so scroll back up again because you have no headline above those first round of bullet points, right? Okay, so you need like a. Does this sound like you? Okay, so you need it could be any variation of something like that, but you need something that helps them identify that you're asking them. Oh, this is where you're stuck right now. Um, um, and then the second one is like, I think you need to go deeper on the um, like these need to be more like you're looking to name the results of what it is that you're doing, right? So you need to get more juicy here. They want to have more clients. They want to get their message out. They want to be making money to support, to create the life they want for themselves and their family. They want to be enjoying their work every day. And part of that you might get those tangible results. My sense is that you have too many things on possibly both of these. Like if you could simplify a little bit, um, it would make your life a whole lot easier. Like if you could nail these down to three, um, maybe four, but three would be like you want to not overwhelm people because they see a list that's really long and uses so many words, it's like they're not going to read it. They're just going to scan it. So what's the most important thing for that you want them to get? That you want them to understand what the result is of what it is that you're doing. So I would look at like really the juiciest piece of it. So, is the juiciest piece of it that, something that's, spiritually related for the people that are hiring you? Is the juiciest piece that, that they have more clients? Is the juiciest piece that they're making more money? Is the juiciest piece that um, they're living their mission? Pick the juiciest ones and then really name it using a language um, that they are feeling, I want to feel more comfortable and relaxed when using the computer. Like, is that it has to be on one that's enough that they're willing to pay for something. So I want you to name the result of the things that they're most frustrated about. Does that make sense? Um, and so that might be being specific about, the ones above, which ones of those are those might be symptoms of the problem, but it may not be the things that they're most frustrated about. So make sure that you're naming what they're most frustrated about really clearly and boldly in that first list. And now, if they're not frustrated about those things, then what's happening instead? Or what have you handled for them? And it could be even specific, like, you've got your website, your social media, and your payment processing, and whatever the other systems and things are for your business, like, handled, and it's not you doing it. Again, speak to the person that you really want to be attracting. Because I think most most small businesses would say, I would love to have somebody else handling this stuff for me. And if that's the level that it takes for you to get into conversation with that person, then great. And then you can say, okay, like, this is some different ways that we can serve you. This is what it would look like. You can talk them. Some people are, once they understand the value of it, are willing to step into, um, like, okay, you just handle it for me. I don't want to. Like, when they get into the emotional reasons about why that helps, like, how that would help them, they're just ready to, they want to hand it off. They want to just, like, have that help. Other people, are going to go, like, I can't afford it. Okay. So, okay, I'm getting that. And, we have a couple different ways that we can help support people. And so here we have this done for you stuff. And now here's this, this other option of how we can support you in doing what needs to be done, and getting some support in doing that, and doing it with us as opposed to on your own. Oh, okay, great. Like, that would be the option. That would be the option that some other people would pick. May as well sell the high end thing, because that's what you really want to sell. Um, so, and the people that say, well, I'm not sure if I can, I'm interested in blah blah blah, I'm not sure if I can afford you. Then the conversation becomes, don't give any pricing over any pricing over email, or any pricing over whatever. Well, hey, we have a couple of different ways that we could work together to support you in getting what it is that you need to get out there. The only way I can know what your needs are, would be to have a conversation about it. Here's my schedule to book one. And now you're having an enrollment conversation with the person. Yeah. Okay, so what have you heard so far out of my feedback about these particular bullet points? I'm okay. So be clear. I'm less concerned about the first seven than I am about the next seven. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what we're talking about. So I think you're on track with this. It's just a matter of like, can you simplify it into language? And then what I'd like you to do next is once you've got something to run with, test it, like go and show it to some people. Get the pictures filled in and like get it out to some people and get some real feedback from people who might potentially be your clients. Hi Sherry, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. I'm just finishing up with Angie, and then you're next.
Oh, that's fine. I probably want to hear Angie's just as much as mine. I'm not
It's all
that
good.
organized, so she can have more time.
Um, cool. So, other questions on this page? So change that top one. Schedule a call to not just to share who you are and what you do, but to share what you're to discuss your uh, challenges and opportunities, something like that, to discuss what you're creating in the world and what your challenges and opportunities are. Keep going down. I don't, I my so the goal is to not overwhelm people with a million different things to do. Really, you want to just lead them towards one step, and then you tell them what the next step is. You don't need to tell them all the steps all at once. So I would say, here's, want to learn more? Here's the next step. So I would skip the step one, step two, step three piece, because based on whatever it is that you talk about in the step one, that's going to determine what the next uh, step is. So they don't need to be thinking further for, you don't want them thinking further forward. You just want them taking that next first step. So simplify that by don't even discussing whatever the other things are. If they're already overwhelmed, like you don't want them thinking, well, but then the next thing is this, and then like just, oh, the next thing is click the button and schedule. Yeah, so we're not calling that a VIP day. Like that's just our shorthand for what that actually is. I would call it a implementation day, or a done for you implementation day, or done with you implementation day is what it is, right? Or it's like I like, it's not fairy dust. It's like what kind of, like if we could think of some words around that, that might be a good brainstorming thing to do with the mastermind group. But anyway, for lack of a better term, I would just call it a done with you implementation day, or a done with you tech done with you tech implementation day, something like that. Yep. So we'll get there. We'll do more stuff on that this weekend. So I think like where you're at with this is totally fine. Just focus on the beginning part, on the messaging. Um, those other three pages, I wouldn't I wouldn't worry about having all of those other 3 pages. You don't need to have all of that stuff. Just simplify it all. If someone arrives on that website, be clear about what it is that you want them to do. You don't want them searching for more information. You want them talking to you if they have questions. Most websites don't make any money at all. And they just provide a bunch of information and they don't lead someone to um, a particular action. And so what you're interested in is leading someone to a particular action, and what you want them to do is get on the phone with you. So just get them to book the call. So the minimum, share with them on this website the minimum that they need in order to book a call. I think, to be honest with you, I actually think that this is more for you than it is for them. You don't want them confused with any of this. You wanted them to get on the phone, and you wanted to have the opportunity to enroll them in something else. Yes, no, so I think that this is good from the standpoint of, I think, like, you needed to go through this to outline for yourself what the differences are and why someone would choose one or over another. So I think this is relevant for you. I don't think that this is something that you need to have on your website necessarily, from the get-go. And probably how I would handle it on your other website would be, would you like to have your business listed in the Be Well God Bless directory? Schedule a call with Angie. Rather than listing the different membership levels and fees and all of that stuff, that would simplify your whole process. And as you're developing, you might have certain people who are paying certain fees and other people who are paying other fees. Like, yeah, cool. All right, feel like we've landed with some good next steps for you. Okay, cool. So definitely focus on that first page, and really you need to nail that first page, and then have like that schedule the call piece, and then have that go to a online scheduler. So I would say if you nailed that piece, the rest of the pages don't really matter. You could have that list of different, like the VIP day was sort of like a list of different services that we could help you with. Like, you might include that someplace. Here's some different things that we can help you with, so that people have some specific ideas of, some of the things that we have done for people. Like, if you have more testimonials, I would put those on there. Like, I would focus on that one page as being like, give them a chunk of stuff, then give them the opportunity to book the session, give them a chunk of stuff, give them the opportunity to book the session. Like, just continue down the list. The goal of the page is for them to book the session. Cool. Excuse me. Cool. Awesome. Lovely. So if you just go ahead and mute yourself, that would be helpful. Sherry, you are up next.
Hi there.
Hi.
So I've been having a really strange week.
Okay.
So